It's the one and only 5D attraction, and I'm back. And I got a very important video for you. And it really boils down to this. This is one of the most powerful elements and concepts to understanding the game by far. And it's your next is your best. Your next girl is gonna be your best girl. Your next move is gonna be your best move. But really, your next girl is gonna be your best girl. You know what I mean? Because it's all about what's next. If this game is all about moving forward, it's not about going back. The only time you want to go back is to review things, after you've had a night out with the homies, whatever, you look back and go, all right, here's what I learned so I can have more, be more effective. You're always learning when it comes to the law of when it comes to the law of gender, which is masculine and feminine energy. That's the law of gender and how they operate together as men and women, like this element. And what you got to understand when it comes to this is you got to move forward. The more that you spend time going backwards, thinking about this person, trying to hang on to this person, you always lose. This is a game where you want to constantly be attracting new people in your life, right? I think one of the biggest things I see, I did a video on this called One-itis, is guys get locked in on one girl or they get locked in one situation. And that's because you don't have enough frequency. This goes back to what Nikola Tesla said. If you understand energy, vibration, and frequency, you have the keys to the universe. So if you have the right energy, which is that positive energy, that cool energy, you know what I mean? You have a high vibration, you're a high vibrational person, right? Now that's all there so you can increase your frequency of what? Communicating with women. The more women you communicate with, the more they're going to be in your life just by the law of frequency. That's how it works. The more that you expose yourself to women, the more you're going to have and the more variety. And honestly, I'll give you an example. I was out this weekend. I was doing damage in the field. I had a bunch of different, me and my guys, we was out, we was pulling everything. It was crazy. You know what I mean? We was pulling everything. But what I noticed is once I talk to the girl, once I have her locked in, I'm on to the next. And it's really up to her to reach out to me. You know what I mean? I'll give her my number. You know what I mean? But she got to hit me up because here's what I've found throughout the years. If she doesn't hit you up and you hit her up and you persist, those ones always fall off. And then guess what? The one that I ended up kicking it with at the end of the night that came through with her friend and me and my homies, we all ended up kicking it. Me and my friend and her friend, we ended up kicking it. She pulled up. She was the last girl I met in the elevator leaving the venue. So I talked to all these girls for all different points in time during the night. There was girls that were extremely interested, talking to me for a long time. And then I'm moving around, But guess what? The one that actually was the most responsive and had the highest level of attraction to me was the one I met at the end of the night. And we was only on the elevator for less than 1 minute. By the time we got out the elevator, she's talking to me. We're all, I'm talking to her. We vibe and I got her number, right? So that goes to show you, it's like you can talk to a girl for an hour, 3 hours, 5 hours. You can take her on 6 dates. You can send her $2,000. And that still doesn't mean she's going to comply or get with you. Then there's another girl who, because the attraction's so high, she might know you for freaking 2 minutes and she's sold. So it goes back to availability. You know what I mean? Availability is all about, look, if she's available and if you're an average to above average guy, especially if you're above average in any capacity, whether you dress well, you work out well, you have a nice style, whatever. If you are above average, which isn't much, it just takes working out and dressing well. That already puts you above 80% of the men out there because 80% of men don't dress well and aren't in shape, right? And those are the things you can control. That's not counting your money. That's not counting different things you can add to add to your value. But with that being said, you know what I mean? It's all about availability. And so the more women you talk to, it increases the rate of figuring out who's available. Some of these girls will talk to you all night, but they know they got a boyfriend at home. Some of these girls will talk to you all night, but they know they're not all the way interested. So, your next is always going to be your best. And also, the last thing I'll say, don't get complacent. Y'all have one girl that you really like, and then y'all think everything's cool. You know what I mean? Like, I got a girlfriend, and I'm still in the field all the time, looking for the second one, or looking for the second girl who's going to be in our life. Like, you have to keep building whatever it is you're doing. You cannot, that's how settling kicks in, is you find one, you're like, oh man, this one, she's a doctor, and she's this, and she's that. The girl I pulled this weekend was a doctor. She's a pediatrician or whatever. I don't care, because guess what? That's great that you have those accolades, but the girl that's most important to me is the one that's treating me the best and who's, actively doing the right things to be my life. All that other stuff is great for her, but I'm looking for who fits in my life. So, that's the key. Your next is your best. Do not get caught up on any of these girls. The minute you do that, you're going to start seeing all the stuff that gets you annoyed in the game. keep moving forward. And honestly, don't text them back. Let them text you. Don't be trying to follow up. If they're interested, they will find you. The key for you is is campaigning. Put your information out there. Here's my name. Let's have some convo so you know who I am. Here's my contact. If you're interested, hit me up. On to the next. You know what I mean? That's how you move, and that's how you win. And that's straight facts. I mean, I don't just talk. I'm in the field doing this in real time. So everything I tell you is proven and battle tested in real time and over years, because I've been doing this for over 10 years. You know what I mean? I've been studying this game over 10 years. I've seen it all. I've seen before the Red Pill, before any of these dudes that came out acting like the Red Pill Avengers and all that. Nah, I mean, I've been hip to this forever, especially the darker sides of female nature, the darker sides of male nature, the deeper elements of masculine, female psychology, the sexual dating place. You know what I mean? It's very much evolutionary, biology and psychology. All these different things play a role. So everything I'm telling you is based on science. So with that being said, man, I appreciate you listening, man. Make sure to like and subscribe. Make sure to check out the Patreon, man. I got the dating and relationship course called Base. Very powerful course. It breaks down everything in there from beginning to end to have your way in the game. And then these videos act as just extra to throw some extra gems on top. So make sure to cop that. And I'll see you all in the next video. It's the one and only 5D Attraction.